Clinton said about electability, and the case, as far as I can understand it, was basically Hillary Clinton is probably the most scrutinized and vetted figure in American public life, and that's almost certainly true, or she's in the top tier of that. That with Bernie Sanders, absolutely. What's that?
I said absolutely. Go ahead.
And that with Bernie Sanders, there might be, with Bernie Sanders, you might get some surprises. That there's a long voting record. She talked about labels coming up. What do you think of that?
Look, Senator Sanders has been in public life now for decades. He is a well-known person in Washington, D.C. He's been a United States Senator since 2006. He was in the House since 1991. He was mayor of Burlington before that. He has been in many, many very, very difficult campaigns against Republicans, and he has really been through the sort of been put through the ringer. So, this suggestion that people don't know who Senator Sanders is, I think, is really not fair. I mean, look, the truth of the matter about electability is if Democrats want to win, you have to be able to win Democrats, and you have to win the lion's share of independents. And the truth of the matter is that if we look at the polls, I'm not just making this up, if you look at polling, he consistently does better with independents than Secretary Clinton does. If you look at the recent polls coming out of Iowa and New Hampshire, in head-to-heads against the Republicans, he does far better than Secretary Clinton against every single one of them. I mean, for instance, in New Hampshire, he's ahead of Trump by 19 points. She's only ahead of Trump by 1 point. Do Democrats really want to be spending money in the general election to defend New Hampshire?
Okay, but do you think, I mean, honestly now, do you think head-to-head polling this far out from the election? I mean, I remember, 6 weeks ago, Ben Carson was going to beat everyone in the field in head-to-head polling. I mean, that seems like pretty shaky data.
No, well, look, that's one proof point, right? So his strength with independents is consistent and has been consistent throughout this campaign, and that's something you can't deny. And Democrats are not going to win. I mean, the number of people who self-identify as independents is far greater than Republicans or Democrats. I mean, I think you have to acknowledge that Democrats can't win a federal election without winning a lion's share of independents. He definitely does better with independents. And I will say this also in terms of electability. Look, the truth of the matter is that Democrats win when you have large voter turnouts. We saw that with President Obama when he won states that Democrats never thought they had a shot in, like Indiana, North Carolina, because he expanded the base of the party. He brought out young people. He excited a lot of people who don't traditionally vote. And that's, if you look at Senator Sanders' campaign and what's going on the ground in Iowa and New Hampshire, that's exactly what's going on here. He's exciting a lot of young people, a lot of people who don't traditionally vote. And if you look at Secretary Clinton's campaign, I mean, I'm not, with all due respect, I think that you'll find there's a lot less enthusiasm in that campaign, and they're not sort of motivating the same type of voters as Senator Sanders is. So I think for Democrats to win not only the White House, because we don't just want to win the White House, we also want to gains in the Congress and the state houses. We've got to bring out a number of people who don't traditionally come out, and that means young people, non-traditional voters, and those people are being energized and excited by Senator Sanders' campaign.
Let me ask you this on the substance of today's announcement.
Sure.
On